Hi and welcome to the Trading Bell. Now, I'm sure when you see this orange color, it signifies a brand that probably you have interacted with, if not so yet. We're talking about Naivas. Rings a bell? Absolutely. And they're right here on the Trading Bell to just appreciate the journey and what they're doing, because this is a retail that has really crossed the mark and has really achieved numbers that we have not seen in this country before. And the conversation is going to be involving about three gentlemen who have been part and parcel of this build up to the conversation about the retail supermarket. And first, I'll be speaking to the Chief Operations, and that's none other than Peter Mukuha, to just help us understand the journey. Peter, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's good to have you here, and thank you so much for welcoming us. As I've said, this is a brand that is synonymous, especially in some of the communities. When you go around, we've seen you coming in there, and just wanted our viewers to appreciate the journey of Naivas. All I know is my small story of a place called Rongai, and I know there are many Rongais, but you'll be able to explain to us that story. Please help us understand it.
Well, thank you. And the journey has been incredible.
Yeah.
And I would say I'm probably not the right person to give that full story, but I've been lucky enough to be involved in it since inception. Yeah. Like you rightly said, Naivas was started in Rongai, just a small town from Nakuru, by four siblings. They were just trying to make their living better. Yeah. But they had a vision of growing this company beyond Nakuru. Yeah. So I would say at first it was a real struggle for them to get out of the village store. It was a very small store, less than I would say 1,000 square feet store. But they worked hard through a lot of discipline, through a lot of struggle, through a lot of commitment to continue growing the business. They had a vision to bring the business to where it is today. Yeah. And I think the business started in 1994, and we opened our second store in 1996 in Naivasha. And I think that's where the name Naivas comes from. We used to be known as Naivasha self-service stores before rebranding to Naivas. The journey was tough because by then we could not even get credit from suppliers. We could not buy directly from manufacturers. So we had to buy through from middlemen. Of course, margins are different, costs are high, but through the trust, through the honesty, through the integrity that we kept, the founders kept, we were able to be trusted, and people started giving us credit. And in the year 2001, that's when we opened our first store. But then there were giants in the industry. We were nothing in Nairobi.
We know the giants. Yes.
In Ronangala. And again, it was a real struggle. Because getting locations, we were not the preferred retailer to get a location. Of course, there were bigger players. So expanding then was quite difficult. But we persevered, I think, through the focus, again, through the dedication of the founders. We were able to push on. We opened our third store in Machakos town. And I think that's where we really saw, or we really changed what or how we were planning to expand. Because there was a lot of learnings in Nairobi. The cost of doing business in Nairobi is quite high. That means your margins are very small. Like in retail, it's all about margins and volume. But when we went to Machakos, we realized, the people are underserved in some of these small towns. People are being exploited. It's pricing and that. And that's how we changed our focus and started venturing in these small towns, the likes of Machakos, Eldoret, and all that. And to sum it up, I think today we have around 109 stores.
Wow.
It has been an incredible journey.
Nobody else has hit 100 mark, right?
I don't think so. I think we are the first retailer in Kenya to pass the 100 mark. But like I said, it has come through a lot of trust.
So what's sort of like the expansion kind of plan? What are you looking at? Because you seem unstoppable now. Once you hit the 100 mark now, you're already going. I'm sure there are many other plans that you have in mind.
Yeah, and like we always say, 100 is just a number.
Yeah.
For us, what is important is creating a sustainable business.
Yeah.
And it's not about growing the number of branches.
Yeah.
It's about making sure that the real estate that we have right now, is it working for us?
Yeah.
Are we able to meet the promises that we've kept for our suppliers? Are we carrying along the staff that we have? Are we growing them? I think those elements are what matters. It's not about the number of branches.
Yeah.
Of course, retail, you can only grow by expansion.
By the numbers, yes.
Organic, so it's also important. But I think making the model sustainable is what really matters for us.
Excellent. Yeah. A lot of businesses in Kenya don't survive, especially after the founders probably are not there. But looking at Naivas and looking at how it has grown to where it is, and looking at you guys ensuring that this vision keeps growing and really empowering very many Kenyans like you're doing, there could be some lessons. What's the one lesson you can tell anybody who's watching and has a business and is wondering, succession, those kind of things, what would you say?
I think a few things I've learned, I think is, and especially in retail, it's getting the basics right.
Yeah.
And basics for us is something like allocation. Do you have the right allocation?
Yeah.
Basic is like, do you have the right products on the shelf? Do you have the right pricing on the shelf?
Yeah.
Do you have the right quality on the shelf? Those are main basics that customers are looking at.
Get them.
And as a company, we're very customer centric.
Okay.
We'll continue being that, making sure that we are providing value, the best value in the country. And we hope by doing that, we'll continue cementing our position as a number one and continue growing.
Makes sense. Yes. Peter, I like that ending of a giant that empowers more people. In fact, I want to have a conversation with Tim Kajume, who's in charge of actually the workforce and all that, to understand how many families he's touching and growing this giant. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Let's transition now to Tim to just get a picture of the workforce and much more. Well, Tim Kajume is here. How are you, Tim?
Fine, thank you.
It's good to meet you.
Likewise, welcome to Naivas.
And you know, our choice of stage, and thank you so much for the welcome, has a lot of trophies. First, I actually want to start from there. What are all this? I know there are quite a number, but maybe you can explain the big one because it looks so big.
All right. Quite a number of these trophies are some of the awards we've won as a business, either in customer service or in terms of being one of the best retailers in the industry.
Okay.
But interestingly, this big one, one interesting fact that most people don't know about Naivas is that we have a football club.
Oh.
We do have one of the best football clubs where we sponsor 3 football teams. We've got seniors men, we've got senior ladies, and we've got a youth team that we sponsor. Wow. What is interesting about the football club is that these are people who come from disadvantaged backgrounds. So as part of our engagement with the communities that we operate in, we thought one of the best ways of getting some of these young people getting into activities that are whether it is revenue generating or in terms of getting them out of crime and so on. So that's why we've partnered with some of these underprivileged communities. And we sponsor these young people. They're doing very well in the, I think, 2nd division in the league. And that's why you see some of these trophies, and you'll see some as we go around.
You know, speaking earlier on about the journey of Naivas and looking at the branches you have, I tend to believe that I'll be right to say you're one of the largest employers in the country. And I wanted to ask you, what are the numbers like so we can appreciate that?
Yes, we are one of the largest private employers in the country. We currently have a permanent staff complement of 12,000. 12,000? 12,000 employees. Those are full-time employees. Once in a while during the heavy trading periods, that number could slightly go up.
Wow, that's a big number to manage. And I just wanted to ask you, how are you ensuring that all these employees that you have are really operating well because you're in charge of their welfare? And that they still feel motivated, that they are upscaling to ensure that you're still competitive in the industry? And the fact that you're still growing in terms of retail numbers, I just came to learn that you've already hit the 100 mark plus now.
Yes, that's correct.
How are you doing to operate this? Because this is not a small number.
So here at Naivas, we don't believe in giving jobs.
Oh.
We believe in giving opportunities.
Okay.
So when you come on board Naivas, we give you an opportunity to grow your career. And that's the culture that we try to inculcate in our employees. So when they come, they know this is an opportunity for me to build myself, to build my career. Because when you look at most of the employees that we engage, most of them are actually coming in either as their first jobs or they are pretty young within the industry. So they come and we take a lot of time to develop them, mentor them, coach them, and grow them within the ranks. So we have a very, actually a full-fledged learning and development department, which happens to fall under my my scope. And what we basically do is we run programs from day one when somebody joins Naivas, based on the role that they have joined. They almost know very well what their career path is going to be.